We're at Scarsdale Wine and Spirits. I'm here with the store manager, James, and he's popping open some champagne. Tell us what you got there.
Yeah, actually, it's a Prosecco Bosco Di Gica, a producer that I love. It's from Valdobbiadene, so it's a Prosecco Superiore, DOCG. We love to find great values. We love our sparkling wines. Great. We got a big selection of great champagnes, California sparkling, Spanish cavas, Franciacortas, and Proseccos from Italy, and other sparkling wines. This is just one of my favorite values, which we carry in a half bottle as well. And this is retails for about $18.99 a bottle, so I'd say considered a super value.
Nice. So what's the science behind pouring it?
I think you usually want, you're just usually you would use like old flutes or like not even like wine, champagne flutes. You want more air. So
really?
That's why you have like back in the old the old 1950 bottle where you see like them stacking on a table.
Oh yeah.
And you got one guy like pouring into like cup flutes, and it just like cascades down. So you're just looking for like fine bubble, looking for color, letting you know if it's like frizzante or what style it is, and and bubbles are fun, so it's all about the value and the taste.
Absolutely. It's nice.
Really nice, great value. I'd say if you can get something like that under 20, near 20, still better than something that's coming from a more expensive region where you're going to pay up for.
Really? Why is that?
I just think it's a tough industry, but you could still. I always tell people you could still overpay for something that's coming from a region that's been marketed heavily. You could still you could still make a bad wine in a great region.
Yeah.
So don't just buy something because it says Champagne or Sancerre and these things suggest that it's going to be amazing at any price point. We vet everything that comes into the store, so it's like we don't want anything to come in just because somebody's telling me that I need to have it.
Absolutely.
I grew up in this business. My brother's on the supplier side, and my father had a store in Yonkers, like near Fleetwood, and he named it after me and him. So it's S&J Wine and Spirits. So it's kind of like I've lived it my whole life, and it gets easier. It's still a hard business, but everything's in like the taste, and you almost have to look past the marketing sometimes because the bottles can be really fancy and attractive, and we all buy with our eyes, but
absolutely.
But it comes down to it. I always used to tell the people that kind of, and the team that I managed at my previous job is, we taste more bad things in a year than we do good, things that are worth note. Like everybody thinks our job is great, but a lot of the stuff that we taste is just like, you're like fighting to not just spit it out.
Yeah, I hear you.
So it makes it easier when you do find something that's like, this is awesome. We got to bring this in, immediately. We want to get this in everybody's hand.
Could I have a taste of this one?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So I think, you see a lot of people buy Prosecco. They used to buy champagne to make like a lot of spritzes and like a lot of champagne cocktails now, where you just want to add a little bit more effervescence. You want a little bit more kick. You don't need champagne or sparkling wine. You could use like soda water and do like a spritz and dial it down. But with something like this,
is really light and nice.
It's light.
Really nice.
It's like, still a little creamy, like smooth. When you get to like, when you get like $12.99, some of those mass-produced ones, like you would want to use that just like mimosas or anything.
Oh yeah.
Something like this, it would be lost on most people to use like a champagne at like $40 to mix with orange juice. But something like this is really good quality. And,
it is. It really is. Yeah. It's really nice and light. Not much of an aftertaste. It clears right away. It's nice.
No, it's got that good like natural acidity, like that sourness.
Absolutely. Love it. It's really good. So you've been open since April?
We've been open since April. Yeah, we went through a little bit of a name change.
Really? What would it start off as?
Amici Divini.
What was that?
We started as Amici Divini, but then there's a winery in California called Amici Vineyards.
What is Amici?
Amici is like a friend of wine.
Oh, okay.
So the owner,
like in Spanish, amigo, amici.
Yeah.
Italian.
Or like Bon Amici, yeah, Italian.
Okay.
She's the owner originally from Italy, like her family from this region, from Valdobbiadene.
Where this is from?
Like in this region.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's why Italy was very important to us. We have pictures of the region like scattered around the.
That's exact place.
Yep, that's Prosecco growing region. That's Valdobbiadene and.
To have the bottle here and the picture here, that's incredible.
Yeah, and we have maps kind of strewn like put out throughout the store because we want it to be kind of an educational process too.
Nice.
We try to set the vibe here, like we just want people to have fun, and we want you to stay as long as possible. We're not really trying to move people out. We want them, want them to ask questions. We got the Vespa in the front, very Italian.
What? Let's take a tour of the store. What else we got in here that you want to show off?
We got our history. Well, the owner had this Vespa. We wanted to incorporate it. It's like a wine rack Vespa.
Yeah.
We wanted to incorporate it. So right now...
That's an Italy staple right here, the Vespa.
Yeah, so I found a good home.
That's nice.
And it's kind of like the first thing, you see when you come in.
And this came from a real Vespa.
Well, this was reconstructed as a Vespa. Of course, I think she got it. The outside of it was a real Vespa. Like the wheel is real, and then they turned it into a wine rack.
That's awesome.
You can see some of our holiday gift packaging.
Tis the season. And these are maps of the different France.
Yeah, we got Spain, France. Italy, Burgundy. Just kind of 4 of the premier wine growing regions of the world, and then like kind of tucked away. Like we want to be able to carry everything. We got the library lights on, the stuff in the back like Cognac, Armagnac, Chartreuse, which is popular again, and sherries and grappa, and then heavy hitters for the holidays. Your high end. Bourbon, small batch, allocated bourbon set, and tequila.
You got the essentials.
Got the essentials. Trying to carry everything. Just trying to carry quality, and we knew we couldn't carry every size of every big brand, but we will carry the things that people ask for, and they're just kind of like smaller batch. I think like Belvedere is one. Like Belvedere is a pretty big brand, but
yeah, that's one of my favorites.
And they came out with their single estate rye, their Bartezek, which is the lake. The bottle's gorgeous, and it's something that we also was important to us. If I knew a bottle that stood out, and I liked the liquid that was inside it, I wanted it to show because the store was built out to almost be like kind of museum-like.
The store?
Well, yeah, the way that we built it, we wanted everything to show in a certain way. Like I've worked in a lot of stores where it's like kind of dark and there's a lot of like
hallways. They're like aisles with tall.
And you have to you really need help
shelves.
Finding stuff. But I purposely, whether it's like bergamot liqueur, like beautiful bottles like this, of course, Saint Germain. Where the bottles are almost. Like an art form in itself.
Do you know much about cachaça?
I know that caipirinhas are one of my favorite drinks. So I built the story like it's fun. I wanted Nova Fogo. I've liked it.
I've had that one before.
I like Pisco or Porton, some of the other ones, but Leblanc.
Yeah.
and LeBlanc has, I think, I like aged cachaça too, like the ones that are aged a little bit with the color for like sipping.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was for me. I just wanted to showcase something.
At least one.
So I could. So if people wanted me to bring in the other ones, I could do that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of cachaça.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Let's move to the Viva Clico over here.
Yeah. No, of course.
It's a nice selection here.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually thought they were all Viva Clico. These are different.
Yeah, I
never heard that one.
Billicar Samo, amazing.
It looks similar because the color.
Yeah, but the bottle shape is, I believe, they have a unique bottle shape.
Definitely.
Than Veuve Clicquot. But I mean, of course, you know, Veuve Clicquot is a staple.
Yeah.
We got Ruinart, oldest champagne house in Champagne. We'll carry a lot of grower champagnes, which is, you know, where the value is nowadays, which is, you know, basically you have houses like Veuve Clicquot that buy from many different growers throughout the region. You have grower champagnes where they're growing the grapes, they're cultivating it. They also are winemakers and they're making it themselves. To put it, you know, to push it to market, it's not like $1 billion campaign behind it where you're paying up for the marketing.
Yep.
But we wanted to have some heavy hitters, you know, the Krug and Dom Perignon mixed in with some really good values, and people have always been pleasantly surprised that we built out a pretty big small format selection. So, you know, for somebody that's just kind of either heading to the city or kind of pre-gaming or just doesn't want to waste, you know, a bottle.
Yeah. If it's just one or two people,
Yeah, and I still like Faust. You know, Spectator has a top 100 wine every year. This is a second label of a very famous wine in Rutherford, and they make Faust. And so it was a pretty good price. So I jumped on it to put it with the selection.
Nice.
Quintessa is their top tier wine, which is roughly around like 200. Hard to get sometimes, but a lot of these wineries that are great, they have second tier wines, even third, that are a little bit more approachable and affordable. And are amazing. That's one, you know, we're still rosés, you know, is something that people are drinking all year round now. So like, I think, you know, the big brands that kind of had a hold on the market are still doing well, but I mean, now you're seeing all these little producers come out and make wines like this. Even like in the box wine category, like the stuff that we carry on the bottom shelf is still going to be, it's got to cut it's got to be able to make it past, the taste test for us to bring it in. But there's some great box wines being made. We built out this section to like really so people can run in and be like, this is where the value is. I mean, this is like where you'll find under 35, under 25, you know, run in, find something, great producer, like 1899, like Domaine Christia, like I love Rhone. I mean, these are such food-friendly wines, but great on their own. And of course, we wanted to mix it up because, you know, I feel like people want more than just Pinot Grigio nowadays. So we run the gambit of northern Italy, Lugana, Toscana wines, Vermentinos, Pecorino, of course Gavi de Gavi, some of the Sicilian whites, probably because of White Lotus, been put on the map, but like Etna Biancos and some Sardinian wines, Vermentinos. So, I mean, we really wanted to give people a lot of options in different price points. And you know, I just see what we don't have, but people tell us we have a pretty good, like for me, I'll never be happy.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're pivoting. Like, you know, you give them your new store, you give them enough where then, you know, they at least will come in and say, can you get this obscure item? I was like, I can definitely get it if you're going to, you know, you're going to be a customer and it'll keep you happy. So
yeah, because you have to get them by the case, right?
yeah, you do, but I mean, you could break it up, but you don't want them to pay the charge for that. So
Yeah,
especially if you like something,
yeah, definitely.
I don't mind carrying it. And then, you know, of course, we grouped in by hemisphere. You got to have New Zealand whites, which are always just kind of refreshing, kind of that zippy acidity, grassy, grapefruity. Australia, New Zealand, Portuguese, Chilean, South America. Yeah, and then
Nice.
kind of we're able to do some.
Yeah, I was looking at these prices. I'd never in my life seen them.
Yeah, I mean,
It's intense.
I was able to get some library, you know, they call them library vintages, where sometimes these wineries will release large formats where I can get something that hasn't been available in the market for a couple of years or whatever, unless you're a collector. So 2005, 2004, 2007, La Spinetta, you know, is a great property that produces high quality Nebbiolo and Barolo and Barbaresco. But that's like, you know, you hit the lottery, you get your bonus. That's you. I always say you split it with like 6 friends. Go out, pay the corkage fee.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not as bad.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
it doesn't hit the wallet the same
Yeah,
way.
because you're not going to drink it all alone anyway.
No.
So you might as well, yeah.
No, you break it up, and those are things you want to savor anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to have a mag of that by yourself. Maybe in a weekend, you know.
Yeah,
but,
in one sitting, you won't even remember it.
yeah, and then that's kind of like the old world stuff. We got New World, you know, some California cabs and just other cool Washington State Syrahs and kind of more allocated stuff. We like to bring in stuff that, you know, I'll get a 6-pack here or there, but it's just to keep it interesting. I want people to kind of pop in and be like, you know, what did he get now? Kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, it used to be with like kind of like record stores or like mixtapes, where it's just like you had the stuff that was out, but if you didn't know the person that was working there, you weren't getting the good stuff that you wanted, which you could always get in the back.
What's this? A map of what?
Yeah, this is a map of France, but it's, you know, we spent a lot of money on, like, we wanted real detailed maps. This was really cool what the owner found. Paula, and it even has like the different size bottles, like and the old type of bottles and shapes that define like Provençal. Why you see like that fish shape sometimes, and Alsatian bottles and kind of Jeroboams and things like that. Really cool. And then, you know, we knew we have a fairly big. You know, cold box, three set cold box, where I'm able to carry even like our RTDs. That's a little bar cart, just to let people know. I didn't want people to think that we were such a fancy store that we weren't going to carry like, you know, wine in a can. But
Yeah, you got a Vespa in the front. They can't expect it to be too fancy.
Or spritzes, like, I know.
Yeah, nice selection.
Yeah, we all added pieces to the store. I think I brought the boat from home for decoration,
really?
which is a winery. I think the idea was like I was the one thing I added, where like if this didn't work, I would sink with the boat, go down with the ship.
I like it. That's deep.
On the Vouv TV, I forgot. I love vintage stuff. So
Oh, nice.
anytime they have something cool like this, I love. Which is, we put some fake ice cubes in there.
Nice.
It is actually an ice box. So
that's great.
This comes out, but I think for the people that remember holding the antenna up so their siblings can watch TV.
Yeah, definitely.
If, you know, till you wait your turn.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then just collector bottles like of tequila that I love, which I pretty much bought for myself. But
Nice.
I like Dos Artes, which just became kind of new to the
Tequila has
market.
the nicest bottles, I think, out of all liquors.
The best, yeah.
What else we got going on?
So I got some tequila. This is. So I am a big tequila fan. I mean, as you can see,
same.
you can see. I mean, and you got to look at the trends. It's really important to kind of, I feel like, everybody utilize the space they have, because if you buy too much of something and then everybody's walked away and they're like, we don't drink that anymore. Now we're on to rum. I think rum is probably going to be the next big thing.
Really?
I hope it's every rum base, like sugarcane base, like cachaça or pisco. But I think rum, just because of how inexpensive and the quality of rum that you can get, is probably going to be the next tequila, if I had to make a guess.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, this is like the new trend, where you have Hovens, but you have barrel rested tequilas. This is a new small little producer, Celosa rosé. A lot of people think it's a play on that it has something to do with rosé, but it's really just the color that it's taking from the wine barrel that it's been rested in. Okay. And you really get like just subtle nuances on the back, but it has nothing to do with like a rosé, and in the terms of you're making it from grapes, and and how you can blend white grapes with red grapes. I mean, for acidity, and use different things for texture and barrel aging. This is just a tequila that's been aged. They age theirs in I think it's Napa wine barrels, like Napa Cab. Don Julio does one that's rested in ruby port wine barrels. I see. So that ruby port's going to add like probably a little bit more texture and a little sweetness to it.
Oh, even the flavor. Does this one? Do you get flavor from this one too?
You'll get it, but like you'll get it. It's almost like shifting a gear into, like, I want to say like second or third gear, where it's like you get it on the back end. You don't really get it up front at first, but you could tell, because if it was just a Blanco, you'd get more of the agave forward, like.
It smells just like tequila.
Which is good that they haven't masked anything. I love that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if it smelled like they're putting so many additives, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, tequila right now, the ones that have additives are taking a lot of people are kind of making fun of, but
it's real good.
See what I mean? I think the barrel, you could keep it on your palate longer without it being like our college tequila that you were just mixing, like Jose Cuervo, like you'd almost spit up. You'd be like, I got to get it out. I got to either get it down or I got to spit it out right now.
That's how I feel about Patron. How do you feel about Patron?
Like, I hate to knock everything, because what Patron did for the market for tequila is huge. Like, I grew up in a wine shop.
I mean, what you were just saying, that college feel. I feel like Patron gives me that college feel that you're referring to.
I remember doing shots of Patron. My friends, like, I needed the lime wedge quick. I needed salt lime wedge, get it back. Like,
exactly my point.
I still liked those three flavors together, but like I didn't want to keep it, like I needed it to go down. And,
exactly.
I drank a lot of Jameson growing up too. It was the same thing. We grow up, we discover better quality.
Absolutely.
Almost for the same price. You try different things. In a college, you're kind of just drinking what everybody else is drinking.
Absolutely.
Or whoever's buying.
What you can afford or what's around. This is very nice and smooth.
Yeah, and this is again, and it's not really a celebrity brand. I think it's coming in right around like 50, like retail for like around $50. So it's still a good value for a bottle.
Yeah, it's really
an
good.
Attractive bottle. I mean,
oh yeah,
the thing is
like a marble.
Yeah, it's like a marble.
Oh, it's actually nice and heavy too. Check out this beautiful tequila cap. It's heavy too, like a doorknob.
Yeah, so it's also, you can protect yourself instead.
I like that. Amazing. Anything else you want the people to know about this beautiful establishment?
No, I mean, I built out a store that I essentially wanted in the village that I lived in. I don't live here. I live in Stanford, but I grew up close in Larchmont, so I wanted to build out something where, like, you have something for everybody. So I think we did that. I didn't want people to be afraid. We kept the vibe nice and light here. we're trying to be really aggressive with the prices. Like that's just what I believe in. I want to see. I always like to say I want to see you 3 to 4 times a month. I don't want to see you once every. I don't want it to be a convenience buy. Like I know this place is way overpriced. I'm running in there just because there's traffic.
It's on the way.
I'm here. It's on the way.
It's a holiday. I'm not going to go to the cheap place.
I want you to come in, talk to us, and you know, we learn as much from like our consumers as they do from us. Like I'm always learning, and and people are well traveled and come from different places. So whether it's talking about like a spirit I've never heard of, but that might be up on the rise, like we're open ears. So I really do want it to be kind of a store for the people, and just very inviting. We have the table out here. A lot of times we have ladies will just be on their power walk. They'll come in, they want to sit down. I'll open up some champagne for them so they can sit down and they can just relax and talk. So it really is the opposite of most stores that I've ever worked at, where it was just a retail setting. We want it to be kind of like Cheers, where kind of everybody knows your name.
I like that. Do you carry any Dominican rums? I didn't see.
I have Brugal, which I love. I mean, like Brugal to me is one of the best.
I love Brugal.
Yeah, and even like the sherry, like the 18, I think it's 1888, the sherry cask one. Yeah. Right now, I just have the Añejo, which I still think is great for the price point. I mean, one of the best.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to bring in more. When the embargoes were up, even people were asking me for some of the Cuban rums.
Really?
Right now, I tried to mix it up. Like I have some Guyanese, like El Dorado, of course. Barbados, Martinique, rum agricole. You have Venezuelan, and so right now, it's always rum season to me, but this time of year, it's dwindled down a little bit, and then of course we carry like Brimley's coconut rum. Some rum for making dark and stormies, like Gosling's. But Dominican rum's great.
Absolutely, I agree. James, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You have a very beautiful store. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Peace and love.